Hey everyone, Romans is here from Review Media, and in this video we're going to try and do something different. Well, some of you may not know, we run a social media advertising agency helping direct-to-consumer brands grow and scale with paid advertising. As we've been developing and building our expertise and experience, we've come to a realization that we do invest quite a bit of time in things like data research, market analysis, competitor analysis. We do quite a bit of Facebook ad account audits. And while performing all of these activities, we've also come into realization that quite a bit of interesting insights we can dig out from these research activities. And we also thought, why not to share some of these insights and findings with some of you guys. I know some of you are running e-commerce businesses, whether you're in a startup phase, in a growth phase, or ready to scale your business. I think it would be quite valuable for you to hear what we have to say. And we also decided on the format. We're going to go after some of the disruptive brands within e-commerce space, and brands that are disrupting them, the product categories, their niche. They're leading the way, but also some of the brands that are about to become trends in the next couple of years. The way we're going to do that is by analyzing their creative strategy and their marketing strategy, but also we'll try to dig a little bit deeper and find out what were they doing, let's say a year ago, 2 years ago, or a few years ago when they were starting out as a brand. Because one of the mistakes that I see other founders do quite a lot is when they look at their competition or look at their brands that they're inspired by, is that looking and trying to model what they're doing at this moment versus instead of doing 3 years ago or the time when they were just starting out. We also will try to build our own assumptions about their marketing. Obviously, there is no way to kind of do a very precise analysis. However, we'll try to back up our assumptions with the data and the research that we can find. Now, without further ado, in today's brand review, we're going to go after a well-known e-commerce brand called Manscaped.com. Let's dive into it. Now let's have a proper look at their ads library. One of the first things that you'll be able to spot is obviously variety. Variety of different content, variety of different creatives, ad formats. They've got carousel ads, they've got videos, they've got different types of influencer videos, they've got Mashable ads, they've got Instagram ads. It's just it's a great variety of content, and they clearly understand the need for that. And this is probably what a lot of brands, a lot of up-and-coming brands need to learn and understand. Most importantly, understand that if you are looking to advertise at scale, if you're looking to grow your business and you understand that one of your main channels for customer acquisition is Facebook or Instagram, or with that regards any other social media advertising platform, your leverage is your creatives, is your visuals. And to maximize the effectiveness and the efficiency of your advertising activities, your advertising effort, right? You've got to be able to speak to a wider audience. In other words, you've got to understand your ideal buyer's persona, but that ideal buyer's persona can exist within different audience segments. Let's say you're advertising to an entrepreneur or business owner, but you also realize that your business owner can be a family man. He probably hangs out with other entrepreneurs who are also family men. Perhaps you're advertising to a person who's a sort of a marketing guru or an ambitious performance-based entrepreneur. We've got a solo entrepreneur, we've got a digital nomad. We've got a bunch of different business owners. They share some of the values like growth, business, financial growth, whatsoever, but they also have different lifestyles and different perspectives and worldviews on life. Once you understand that, once you grasp the concept, you can bring that to the surface level of your advertising, which means you can utilize different content to speak to different types of audiences, to different types of entrepreneurs from different angles, and that way capture their attention more effectively. And this is what Manscaped does in a way, although now their communication strategy predicated on humor and entertainment, and usually that type of communication speaks to a lot of people regardless of their occupation. Now let's have a look at this ad, for example.
What are you doing? I've been trying out this new Manscaped trimmer I just got.
So if you guys aren't familiar with Manscaped, they have been one of the leaders when it comes to grooming your downstairs business, and now they just came out with their Lawnmower 3.0.
Everybody online say that this is the best thing to not nick or snag your nuts.
See, the Lawnmower 3.0 was designed specifically for new man zones. It's small, waterproof, features skin-safe technology, which means it repeat the way for your grooming endeavors.
With the Perfect Package 3.0 kit, you have everything you need to take boxer briefs. Plus free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Head over to manscaped.com.
It's sort of the mashable type of ads, got an influencer video, product videos, explains different benefits. Most probably they're advertising to the cold audience with this ad because it's an introductory video. It introduces the product, talks about the benefits, and kind of trying to make it in a very approachable but also a very fast-paced format. If you pay attention, you'll realize that the frame-to-frame duration is about 3 to 4 seconds. So what they want to do is just to keep your eyes on the screen. They want to make it as engaging as possible. Their ad copy is pretty simple, speaking to benefits and a simple call to action. But obviously, the execution of the video is high class. There's nothing to say about that. If you pay attention to some of the image ads, you will realize that they're localizing their content. For example, this ad is directed to the UK market. If we let's say use this video.
Take a gander at this. Is that him? This, my friend.
Now, right away, what you can see, if you kind of look at the backgrounds and the overall atmosphere of the video, perhaps they speak to a specific type of audience. Maybe these are gamers, bloggers, but it's got a sense that they're directing their communication to a specific type of audience.
Better. They upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor. So got the quiet stroke technology. There's a 600 milliamp lithium battery in here now, so it's like up to 90 minutes. What else do they upgrade? If you take a close look, it has like this new anti-tug like trim guard like built into it that you can.
And they talk about the sort of the features of the product in a very entertaining way as well.
Of course, take off. Damn! It's got a built-in light. Everything's.
Yeah. Again, this guy, the influencer, has done a very good job selling the product.
Manscaped, they have been pretty much one of the leaders in the pack when it comes to grooming your downstairs business, and now they just came out with their Lawnmower 3.0. So they upgraded from their Lawnmower 2.0, they put more power into it, it has a longer battery life. One thing Manscaped is known for is their skin-safe technology in their trimmers, which means it reduces...
Now, I'll probably use this ad for the middle of the funnel. Anyone who's been to the website and, if they're still not convinced of the product, this video perfectly explains the benefits, the features, most of the benefits, and explaining why this product is great and why it's suitable for example, for me. And scrolling down again, we've got Instagram ads.
In looking and feeling your best. Just when I thought it couldn't get any better with the Lawnmower 2.0, they went ahead and dropped.
Now again, frame-to-frame duration is very short, probably 3 to maximum 4 seconds, but mostly 2 to 3 seconds. And generally speaking, it's another influencer ad, and this guy's done a very well job presenting the product as well. They clearly understand what they're doing. Going back to the fundamental principle of communication, they use humor, they try to entertain, they try to make it funny, they want their content to be interesting because they realize the importance of having your attention, engaging you with their ads. Now let's jump to a couple of case studies. They did such a good job with video ads back in 2017 that obviously Facebook decided to showcase them in their success stories. Now I know Facebook's algorithm was a totally different ballgame. More probably the entire social media advertising space was a totally different ballgame back in 2017. However, one thing remains relevant, which is video creators, video ads, and knowing how to create thumb-stopping, eye-catching video creators is one of the most important skills to have, whether you're a marketer, an agency, or freelancer, or your internal media buyer. Now, we're in 2020, it's still the case. One very cool fact that when they ran this campaign back in 2017, they ran out of stock. It's a cool problem to have. It just showcases the fact that if you know what your customer needs are, you can nail your video creatives in a very effective manner. Now, there's another case study that has to do with automatic placements. Now, usually as a rule of thumb, you'd allow Facebook to find your customers in different placements. So this case study is from 2019 and just talks about how they utilized automatic placements to increase their purchases and overall reach. That's it for the Facebook case studies. We also have a couple of case studies that to do with retargeting, but again, it's not for six-figure brands, but it's interesting to see what bigger brands do. In 2018, they've also used DSO, dynamic spend optimization. For those of you who don't know what DSO is, It's a service, usually it's an AI that optimizes all of your advertising channels. It could be even radio, TV, social media, a variety of different channels. AI program software sort of determines which one of the advertising channels is the most effective, the most efficient one, and then it kind of automatically spends your budget on that particular channel. That's it for the media buying side. And now let's move on to the influencer side. There's a very interesting thing that they did when they were starting out. Influencer marketing and influencer marketing strategy. Obviously, it was rather difficult to say what it is exactly that they do at this moment. However, we can refer to a couple of things that I was able to find on Google, and one of them is this particular case study with, I presume, one of the agency partners. And as you see, their main objective was to aggressively scale with influencer marketing, and they did it by targeting YouTube and Instagram influencers with predominantly male audience. Makes sense. Generating authentic sponsorships, giving the content creators full freedom to come up with content. A bit of results, obviously it's surface level, doesn't say anything about conversions or of the initial investment in this particular campaign. But they started in March 2020. I presume they've done a very good job, because this is the time when the COVID hit the US. More than 6 million views, 30 plus activations. So let's say it was a success. What I was trying to do, I was trying to find the type of influencers that they partner up with for this particular campaign. I couldn't, but I ran into other influencers that I guess they worked with in the past. These are, well, beautifully looking women, and it absolutely makes sense. It's a no-brainer. So you can't partner up with female influencers for this particular product. And if you go through a couple of them, you'll realize the type of influencers are just, the size of the audience of these influencers is quite wide. And if you try to see their engagement, look up the text that they used, the same applies for this person. Again, text, pretty standard, nothing complex. Let's move on to their website. Now, moving on to their store, to their websites, I'd like to say, it actually is my assumption, but I think they've redesigned their website according to the new product version release, which is the Lawnmower 3.0. And let's switch to the mobile version of the website. So the first thing we'll see, let me hide myself. The first thing that we'll see is the product itself, CTA. We have also a top banner incentivizing us to purchase the package kit, which makes sense. Start scrolling down, we'll see, we'll notice the type of language that they use in their copy. When manscaping, always use the right tools for the right job, precise trim, maximum skin safe performance. Proper manscaping requires precision engineered tools. So what they're trying to do is to position themselves as a Ferrari of manscaping, become authority within that space. And as we continue scrolling, again, you'll see a lot of features. Obviously, they want to tell more about their product. Pay attention to the fact that they don't cram in a lot of detail. They don't put long text and long sentences explaining what the product is. They do it in a very snappy, sort of in a very precise, direct way, but also trying to keep you engaged because of the visuals. Yeah, transitioning to the supplement products, pretty cool. Now they have a partnership with a testicular cancer society. Then we have different stats that serve as, I guess, triggers and hooks. 85% of women think back grooming is a major turn off. Limited time offers. And then we have add to carts, new release, a bit of testimonials, a bit of PR. And that's it. Well, let's add it to the carts, see what happens. The first thing that you see is an upsell, pretty straightforward, pretty simple, but yet effective. We've got 50% of almost each product on the upsell checkout, and here we go. That's pretty much for the website. And the traffic side of things, I think they're doing pretty well, with an average of 2.6 million website visits over the past 6 months. And if you pay close enough attention, you'd see that there is a significant increase in traffic of almost 1.5 million visits in a span of 1 month. And that could be due to several reasons. One of them is obviously COVID-19. The other one is that influencer marketing campaign that we talked about. I guess it was definitely a success. But then we have a slight decrease, which is natural after running in 1 month marketing campaigns at scale. Now, the average visit duration is about 4 minutes, which is pretty outstanding. And we have market share across different countries. Obviously, the US is the leading country. Then we have Canada and the United Kingdom. The traffic sources, we've got search in the first place, which means they've done a good job with SEO. Then we have social, and then direct. We'll skip the referral schemes, and now we have again search. 41% of traffic, almost 42% of traffic coming from search. 75 is organic, and 25 is paid. When it comes to social, I know that they claimed, well, they used to say that their biggest paid media acquisition channel is Facebook. Perhaps it still is. I don't know if they advertise on YouTube, or at least I haven't seen their ads, or I haven't been targeted yet. So that's how they roll. In terms of display advertising, the majority of stake is coming from Google Display Network. Now, when it comes to the competition, to be honest, I haven't done much of a digging, but I came across this brand, and I believe that this is a UK brand. I'm not entirely sure, but it feels like it is. And I fall for them, to be honest, because they're so direct and so minimalistic in their approach to the design, to the marketing. Just generally very, very simple and straightforward. If you go and click shop now, you'll see that they have 3 offers, and they even have gold tweezers grew like a dawn for £10,000. It's pretty impressive. Now, yeah, again, very simple, no fluff, very straight interface. To conclude this video review, I'd like to go over 6 lessons that I've personally learned over the period of time of doing the research, getting to the nitty-gritty of marketing and advertising of manscaped.com. And I guess the first one is the obvious one: community is at the heart of the brand. Well, to be quite honest, it's been escalating in my mind for the past couple of months since I started allocating some of my time to the research of disruptive brands, and that's how I got into these. Got my initial interest of why disruptive brands, what it means, and how do you actually find a disruptive product, which actually leads me to the second point: disruptive marketing follows by disruptive product. Disruptive product, not the other way around. I mean, we see that there's a lot of emphasis on marketing and advertising, and not enough of emphasis on the product itself, how to create a product, how to develop a good product. And something that I'm learning myself with my now partner, as we're going to be launching our own brand in Q4 in September 2020. So keep an eye on that. The third point is subscription helps the business model if it helps the customer. This I have learned from the CEO of Dollar Shave Club. Once said in one of his interviews that if you are building a subscription-based business model, then it has to enhance the customer experience. If you're doing it just purely because you want to get your monthly recurring revenue, then probably you're not going to be able to succeed with it at scale. It comes from your intention: create a product, create experience for the customer, not for you. It leads me to the fourth point: communication delivery is how you win. We can all agree that Manscaped is nailing their communication. It's entertaining, it's fun, it's curious. You want to be a part of their story somehow. So that's why communication delivery is the key. Then building an ecosystem of products is probably how you win in the long term. And if you pay attention enough to what, let's say, Manscaped does, they've got their core offer, but then they have supplemented products to support their core offer, to increase their average order value, and also increase the lifetime value of the customer. And the last point: utilizing customer-centric marketing is a winning way nowadays, because there's a lot of focus on the products in terms of the features and even benefits. But if we move away from a product and start focusing on the customer itself, then we have a chance of winning in the long term. Now, I would like to end this review. I hope that it's been valuable. I look forward to the feedback. I look forward to your questions, and let me know what would you like me to cover in our future brand reviews. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.